Let's look at this app. When we open it, we are taken to the login screen. Once we fill the correct credentials, we are taken to this next screen. Now, we press the back button and exit the app. Let's say the next day we come again and click on the app. Wow, we are directly taken to the screen after login. We did not have to log in again, right? Isn't this what we see in the apps we use in our everyday lives? But the app we have made does not do this right now. As of now, every time we open the app, we have to log in. What we want the app to do is to save the login credentials of a user so that he does not have to log in every time he opens the app. Okay, so let's get on with it. The concept that we are dealing with here is called shared preferences. Before we get to the code part, let's first understand what we mean by shared preferences. So, when we want to save some data while working with an app, there are two methods in which we can do so. One is to use the database and the second is to use a class known as shared preferences. Let's look at the differences between the two. The database is used when we want to store large amounts of data such as usernames and passwords of 1 million or 1,000 customers that our app will have. While the shared preferences is used when we want to save small amounts of data like usernames and passwords of 5 to 10 users. The next difference is that the database can be maintained on a database server which is connected to the internet, or it can be maintained as a local database on the user's device. On the other hand, the data stored in the shared preferences class is stored only in our devices. So, every app that we use on our mobile phones has its own separate database and its own shared preferences file. Okay, so we are going to focus only on shared preferences for now. We will learn more about database in the upcoming modules. So we understand that each app has its own shared preferences if it wants to store small amounts of data. To save this data, we will have to create an object of the shared preferences class. This object will point to a file where the data will be saved. We can use various methods to read and write this data. Now, every app can have multiple shared preferences files. But for this training, we will create only one. So from now on, we will talk of shared preferences in terms of a file that stores data on our devices. Since each app will have its own file or files, it becomes important to give this file a unique name that lets us know that this particular shared preferences file saves the data for this particular app, right? The next thing we need to know about the shared preferences file is that it saves the data in terms of key-value pairs. What do we mean by that? Let's look at an example. Let's say my name is Batman and my job is that of a vigilante. So, the name and job become the keys and Batman and vigilante become values. Another example can be that the company's name is Internshala and the founder's name is Sarvesh Agrawal. Again here, name of organization and name of founder will become keys and their respective values will be Internshala and Sarvesh Agrawal. Do you understand the concept? Alright, now let's look at the two methods that can be used to read data from the shared preferences files. One is the get shared preferences method and the other is the get preferences method. As the name for both these methods suggest, they are used when we want to access or get the data stored in the shared preferences files. Let's look at each one of them. The get shared preferences method is used when an activity needs to use multiple shared preferences files. The two parameters that this method takes is the name of the file and the mode. The name of the file will be stored as a string in the resources directory. We will then refer to that string here. As for mode, there are multiple modes that this method can use. The most commonly used and preferred mode is mode private. This mode lets only this particular app access the shared preferences file that we are referring to in this method. So, the data of the file remains private to this particular application. You can read about them in the text chapter after this video. The second method we use is the getPreferences method. This method is used when an application needs to use only one shared preferences file. So we can say that it uses a default shared preferences file that belongs only to this application. Hence, it takes only one parameter, since it does not need the name of the file. The one parameter that it needs is the mode parameter that we have looked at in the previous method. For this training and in general, developers prefer to use the getSharedPreferences method, since we may not know upfront how many files one app may have. We will also be using this method only for our training. Also, remember, one application can use only one of these methods but not both. Okay, so we have covered some basics about shared preferences. In the next video, we will go to the Android Studio and use shared preferences so that the user does not need to log in every time he or she comes to the app. For now, click on Next to go through the text chapter on the various modes that the getSharedPreferences and getPreferences methods can use.